And live from Noble City Studios, this is your ICE News Brief. I'm Rob Goodwin, and welcome to Training Week 48. It is an interesting week. As you may realize, this year, every quarter we have had a themed ICE, and this week is no different. It will be the Highly Infectious Disease ICE, involving the HID course and Healthcare Leadership, also known as HCL. Take note that HURT will not be playing in this exercise, therefore there will be no contamination and no outside decon practices. In this week's scenario, Cummings University has sent a group of archaeological students to the Republic of Congo, where a known outbreak of Ebola has been broadcast internationally. When the Cummings University students returned to Noble City, a couple of them began displaying signs and symptoms of Ebola. On Thursday afternoon, in the late afternoon hours, a patient is admitted to Noble City Hospital with these signs and symptoms. In the early morning hours of Friday, however, an earthquake measuring 7.0 on the Richter scale hits Noble City, complicating the close-kept secret that a possible Ebola patient is at Noble City Hospital. During Friday's ICE exercise, most of our patients will be victims of the earthquake. This week, involved in a gas line explosion at a local restaurant or a bus explosion from a failed bridge. Your signs and symptoms may be injuries from flying debris to broken bones, abrasions. For the walking wounded, if you're presenting as a patient and you have coughing, shortness of breath, or wheezing symptoms, you'll need to make sure that you're coming from the gas line explosion or from the bus accident and explosion, so as not to confuse our students with specific patients that will be playing the Ebola signs and symptoms. Your lead, once they give you a role, will remind you where you're coming from, and it will be important to stay in the parameters of your role so as not to mislead students on the number of Ebola patients. Also, if you're not a pre-assigned HID patient with Ebola signs and symptoms, you know nothing about the trip to the Congo. You know nothing about the close-kept secret that possibly a couple of patients are being housed at Noble City Hospital who've tested positive with Ebola. We'll let you know if you're involved in a special inject to move this story along. Semtex, remember to present patients with a sense of urgency, giving report professionally, and your role play counterparts or other Semtex who are helping you present the patients be talking to the patients and reassuring them that now they've arrived to Noble City Hospital and they will be okay. Also, role players, please report on time, 6 a.m. in the trauma bay for your briefing. And then also, Semtex, you will have a briefing at 5:30 a.m. in the Mannequin Morgue with Dawn. For all of us here at Noble City Studios, thank you for watching your ICE News Brief. We're excited to see you on Friday. Be well, fellow castmates.